Well, joining us now from her home in Derbyshire is Lindsay Jackson of the COVID-19 Bereaved Families for Justice campaign group. Lindsay's mum, Sylvia Jackson, died of COVID-19 in April 2020. Lindsay, good evening to you. I know you've just seen that video. How did it make you feel when you saw it?
Disgusted.
What did you think when you heard that this video had been released and that these are the words that, for example, Allegra Stratton said quite clearly that there was no social distancing involved and you, of course, couldn't be with your loved ones?
I'm angry on so many levels. I can't really begin to gather my thoughts adequately. The fact that this party took place is bad enough. The fact when everyone else was following the rules and behaving properly and not seeing loved ones, that's bad enough. The fact that Mr. Johnson's staff clearly felt able to laugh about it, joke about it, find ways to dismiss it in their upcoming press conference is doubling down on that awfulness. The fact that they're still lying about the fact that this party took place is compounding the awfulness. I can't begin to tell you how the 160,000 families who have been bereaved by this virus are feeling right now when we see the contempt with which our loved ones' lives and our lives are treated by this government. It's despicable, despicable.
Well, Lindsay, I can see you're very upset, and thank you so much for speaking to us about this tonight to convey how upset you are. What do you think should happen now, given that you've now seen this video? We know the Prime Minister denied it. What would you like to see happen?
I would like to see what we've been asking for from the very start, which is a review, a judicial review of how the government has managed this crisis. Because decisions have been made from the start, as we saw when the Parliament did its own review recently, mistakes have been made all the way through. This clearly wasn't a mistake. What this press conference is talking about is a deliberate flouting of the rules because people in Downing Street think the rules don't apply to them. They think the rules are for the little people like me and my family.
Do you feel the Prime Minister and his team represent you right now, given what you've just seen?
Well, they represent the British people because the majority of the people who voted them in. I hope, for goodness sake, those people are reconsidering their votes now for the next election, because I do not trust this government an inch. Look at this. You hear from their own mouths. They set the rules for the British people, and within hours, they're breaking them themselves. The rules don't apply to them. Well, I'm sorry, in a democratic, civilized country, as this is, the rules and the laws apply to everyone. No one is above the law. And Boris Johnson needs to be taught a lesson that the laws apply to him and his staff just as much as they do to me.
We don't have much time left, Lindsay, but can you tell us briefly what you've been through with your mother, with Sylvia, and how that contrasts with what we've seen in this video tonight, as you've just explained?
It's hard to put into words. My mother was wonderful, and she was taken from me before she needed to be, because of the mismanagement of this public health crisis. And I will never forgive Boris Johnson for that.
Have you spoken to other members of of your group. As you mentioned, there are 160,000 families out there. Have you spoken to any of them tonight after seeing this video or hearing about it?
No, not really. There's a group of us on social media, and people have shared their thoughts. And yes, I suspect that my reaction is pretty much mirrored by an awful lot of those 160,000 families now.
Lindsay Jackson, we're going to leave it there. Thanks very much indeed. I'm sorry to have upset you tonight, Lindsay. I can see how upset you are, but thank you so much for speaking to us about what you're going through. And if there's anything else you would like to say before I leave you, Lindsay, is there anything else you'd like to add to this?
You're welcome. It is hurtful to go through this again, but if people learn one thing, it's wear your masks, get vaccinated, and follow the rules, unlike some of these idiots that are in charge at the moment.
Lindsay Jackson, thanks very much indeed.